Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial on Ether. I just came back from the holiday and briefly during my holiday I had this idea of getting the current Ethereum price in NodeJS, which I was thinking to transform it into a tutorial and present it to you, as it might seem useful, especially for the beginners, because I'm planning to use API calls, more specifically two free APIs which can be used to get the Ethereum price in general. So I'm using also Node.js because it's very practical and it's one of the most used platforms out there. So let's dive together into this coding session and see how it's going to play out. I'm absolutely sure you will like it. But first of all, I'd like to talk about the tech stack used. I'm going to use Node.js 20.17, which is one of the most renowned and used web application development frameworks. We are going to code in Visual Studio Code, which is the free code editor from Microsoft. Practically, you have your own choice, so you can use Visual Studio Code or any other editor, even a Sublime Text or any other text editor that you can find. And as a library, we will have a dependency on Axios, and this library is used to perform HTTP calls. Now, in terms of what are the APIs that we are going to use, so we are going to use cryptocompare.com, which provides a free API to use, and also Coinbase, which provides another one. These two are very similar, but with slight differences, so we are going to check them as well. Now, what are my plans? So I plan to achieve the correct compilation of the code, of course. I want to call both CryptoCompare and Coinbase APIs and print their output to the console, and I want their price to be shown in euro and also US dollars. And of course, this code sample will be published to GitHub, and you have the link in the description down below. And I also want to learn something new, and as well for you, I want to this tutorial to be useful as well. Yeah, so a couple of considerations before we begin. So this is on the fly. I have no preparation in advance. So the project is not created. I just have a blank project on GitHub, which I'm going to fill up with code. And I do have some code samples in one of my personal projects just to make it faster. Yeah, so the code license will be MIT licensed, and you can reuse it and distribute it as long as you retain the original content and yeah, all the kinds of stuff. And we are going to learn and adapt on the spot, because challenges may come and will come for sure and along the way. So we are going to use all the various tools and resources that we have at our disposal to get past these challenges. And yeah, no, last but not least, we are going to see a developer at work in their own environment. So I'm going to you are going to see my thoughts on this tutorial. So let's dive into it. All right. So hope you are ready as I am. So practically, in order to start, I'm having my GitLab repository cloned into this location on my computer, and I'm having a blank repository, and I just added a gitignore file, and there's not even a Node.js project started. Now, in order to proceed, I'm going to open a terminal, since I want to initialize a Node.js repository, right? And if I'm opening a terminal, first I'm going to check my node version. So I do have the 2017, okay, and I'm using the command npm init. Okay, now I'm going to leave the package name as it is, version, okay. Here in the description I'm going to add something like get current Ethereum price from two APIs. marvelous. Yeah, let's have the index.js entry point as command now. Git repository. Yeah, I can use the Git repository from the GitLab, which is this one. Keywords. Yeah, we can add something like crypto, Ethereum, price, blockchain, whatever, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to use my name on it. License, it will be a MIT license as I told earlier, so yeah, this information should be just fine, and I'm going to hit yes. Cool. Now we can see we have the package JSON file, and this is exactly what we generated from that thing. Okay, so right now we have the project set up. We need to install some dependencies, so I'm going to install the Axios dependency. And if I check again on the package JSON with text editor, I'm going to see that I'm having no, reload, yes, reload. So reload, and where is my Axios? It's in here in the dependencies. Perfect. Now I'm going to open the whole folder with Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to go, I'm going to that location. Can I paste it? Like so. Let's see if I can do okay. So now it's open, and I need to add manually one index.js file. So I'm going to start with the index.js file. Cool. I have this index.js file, and right now it's empty. And now it's time to talk about the two endpoints that we are going to use in order to get the Ethereum price. So I do have first the crypto compare. Crypto compare looks like this. So it has this URL, and we have two URL parameters in the query string, which is first one is the crypto, and then the equivalent, and in let's say whatever other currency we have. Bitcoin I'm not interested at the moment. I'm just interested in USD and Euro. And if I'm going to hit enter, I can see I do have the prices returned from the API. Okay, this is very straightforward, and it's also free to use. I suppose they have some limits, so per IP address, so do not overuse it. And the second one is the Coinbase. Now Coinbase works a little bit different in this regard, because we have just the currency, and it will return the Ethereum price in every possible currency that is available. So we can see also crypto, but I also fiat currencies, and from this list we are going to filter. I don't know exactly if there is any filtering from the query string, so it remains to be found out, but we are only interested in Euro and USD. So you have Euro here and USD, this one here. Okie dokie. Now back to our Visual Studio Code. Now Visual Studio Code, you remember I told you we needed this Axios, so we will import Axios as a constant. So we will say const Axios equals require Axios. This is the first step which we need to do before calling the APIs. Now let's try to do a trick, because actually Axios has a really nice async await pattern, and I want to use it in this tutorial. So if we want to use async await, we need to first define an async function main. So this will be asynchronous, and I also want 2 spaces instead of 4. Okie dokie. And I also need to call this in this function at the end of the file. Okay. Now inside this function I'm going to create a response object, because and let's add it here first. We call this endpoint. So we are going to call the crypto compare one in the beginning, and then second we are going to call the Coinbase one. Okay, and we are going first to start with defining a response object. So we are going to define a constant, let's say response crypto compare, and we will use a await. So this will actually call in an asynchronous pattern the Axios get function, and the get function will receive the endpoint that we want to call, right? And from this object we get the data with data, and we are going to assign it to another variable. So we have, let's say, crypto or let's say data crypto compare. Okay, and let's see what is the outline of our data. So practically we receive a simple object with the USD and the euro prices, and these ones can be very easily then outputted to the console, and we can hit the console log function, and we can use the interpolation strings, and we can say something like it price, or let's add the first crypto compare, is, and here we will say data crypto compare dot euro. First we get the price in euro, and then we can say something data crypto compare dot USD, and this should print to the console our data. And yeah, right now it's pretty much, let's say, complete. We can actually test it in the console. Right, so if we hit npm start, missing script, okay, we are missing a script in the index file, so we can add it start, and it will be node index.js. Now node start should work. Okay, I have a typo in here, it's not required, it's required. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have some data. So crypto compare says Ethereum price is right now 2285.59 euro and 2525.89 USD. Okay, so it seems we were able to call this API in very easily manner, and we can replicate the same for also for the Coinbase. Let's say we will need to change these variable names, and then we will be just ready. And the Coinbase is practically this one. Okay, then we will change the output into the console, and we are going to change these ones as well, and see what we are going to have. Coinbase says that Ethereum price is undefined. Okay, let's check the object, the output object, because there we might have a prettify print. Okay, so we have as you can see, we have a different output format. So practically we have an object which then in turn has this data object, which in turn has the currency properties with the requested cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum in this case, and the rate. So this means that we have to get the data a bit differently. So response data that rates. I hope this is the right one, because okay, yeah, so we can see that there are the prices are pretty much close, yeah, but now every exchange has is going to have a different price for the cryptocurrency, so they will differ. And also perhaps this is one of the average prices, because the buy price and the sell price might differ in any case. Yeah, so I think that's really pretty much it for this short tutorial. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, it's going to be the code is going to be uploaded on GitHub, and you'll find the link into the description. On this note, I would like to thank you very much for watching this short tutorial, and I hope you found it useful, and let me know in the comments if you have any ideas or suggestions or any other topics that you'd like to see, and tutorials I can create for them, and I'm really eager to find out about your feedback. And if you like my videos, yeah, don't forget to share and subscribe, and also like the video. Thank you very much, and enjoy the day.